Centaur, your kind of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, Prime Minister John Brisbane speaks on High Court's ruling on Sugar Industry Act. Postmortem of Jesus Sacol concludes he was not run over by police mobile. Road works to commence on the San Esteban Progressive Road. And a workout session between the Prime Minister and children of San Esteban. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, August 10th, 2023.
Me encuentro recluida porque fui acusada de inhumación, exhumación de cadáveres, profanación de cadáveres y homicidio de 13 personas.
Ellos decían que era santería, nosotros decíamos que era satanería.
Yo nunca me imaginé que a mí me iban a aventar todo lo de Adolfo.
Quien jefaturaba y quien ordenaba y quien tenía el poder y el peso de decisión pues era Sara.
When we were elected in 2021, we were determined to work hard for the benefit of the people. In just 2.5 years, we have accomplished a lot. Amongst many of our accomplishments, we are proud to say that we have acquired the most vehicles and machinery ever acquired by any council in just a short time. Under the leadership of Mayor Ladrick Shepherd, your Orange Rock Town Council has acquired a grader, a backhoe, a garbage compactor truck, a water truck, 2 brand new utility Kias, and a brand new patrol pickup for the traffic department. With this equipment, we're able to do a lot more. We remain committed to continue working together because only together progress continues.
The Office of the Prime Minister invites you to join us at the 2nd Annual Belize Investment Summit from August 30th to September 1st, 2023 at the Grand Caribe Resort on Umbergers Key. Belize, the land of endless potential, with a vibrant people and economy and a wealth of natural resources, is the region's premier investment hub, offering a range of opportunities across sectors including the blue, green, and orange economies. The Belize Investment Summit 2023 is your chance to explore these opportunities and connect with potential partners, investors, financiers, and stakeholders from across the globe. This 3-day summit will offer networking opportunities, site visits, one-on-one meetings, roundtable discussions, business pitches, an expo, and keynote presentations from government officials and industry leaders. Gain insight into Belize's investment climate and the incentives that make our country the destination for investment. Register now for the Belize Investment Summit 2023 and discover a world of opportunities. Be a believer. Invest in Belize. Thrive in Belize.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. As we have been reporting over the last few days, there was a major ruling coming out of the High Court earlier this week in relation to a legal challenge brought against the government of Belize by BSI-ESR regarding the Sugar Industry Act. The challenge was for 7 areas of the Sugar Act, however, only 2 were ruled in their favor. The first of the 3 speaks of the portion of the Act that requires a BSI to contribute to financing the operations of the Sugar Industry Control Board. The second addresses the unconstitutionality of a provision within the Act that requires cane farmers to belong to an association in order to be registered and deliver cane. BSI ESR has come out to say that it is pleased with the decision and hopes for the modernization of the industry moving forward. While the Ministry of Agriculture and Attorney General are yet to give an official statement on the ruling, today we asked Prime Minister John Brisenia for his take on the matter. While the PM says he is yet to be fully briefed on the situation, his hope is that it all works out for the benefit of the Caneros in the north.
The Minister of Agriculture, he just mentioned in cabinet that it was a massive loss for cane farmers, for associations in general. And he said he was going to meet with the Attorney General yesterday to get a proper briefing. I am very disappointed because we know that as the Cane Farmers Association has worked well for the industry. So as a government, we know we have to rethink as to how is it we're going to move forward, how is it that we can protect the rights of our farmers, how is it that we could protect them to ensure that they're not taken advantage of. I am certain that we can sit down and work with BSI on something that's reasonable, that can be a win-win for everyone. I'm an optimist by nature, so I hope that we can find a way. But I have not gotten the briefing, and I'm hoping that by next week, Monday, Tuesday, the Minister of Agriculture will be able to give us a full briefing as to the extent of the ruling and what can be done.
As the magnitude of the recent ruling begins to reach the different stakeholders within the sugar industry, today, Chairman of the Committee of Management of the BSCFA, Fred Ortega, reacted to the possible implications of the decision, particularly as it relates to the second point, which focuses on individual cane farmers.
Como se dice y en programas a veces uno se menciona que la unión hace la fuerza, ¿verdad? Entonces, si va una persona y se queda individual, y como asociación todavía no podemos lograr muchas cosas que tenemos en el camino luchando, imagínate una persona individual. Pero en el otro lado también, en lo que mencionas de Fairtrade no trabaja con personas individuales. Fairtrade trabaja con organización, con cooperativas, con asociación de pequeños productores. Así es de que individualmente una persona no puede aplicar para conseguir beneficios de Fairtrade. Tiene que ser a través de una asociación o una cooperativa donde muestra de que tiene puntos claros, ¿verdad? Porque pues Fairtrade tiene sus reglamentos, cómo se da. Entonces una persona individual no puede ser partícipe bajo Fairtrade.
Claro, y la decisión en esta parte del acta para nada afecta lo que son los reglamentos de Fairtrade, porque Fairtrade es una entidad que no se rige bajo lo que es el Sugar Act de nuestro país.
Claro que no, como te digo, te vuelvo a mencionar, Fairtrade trabaja con grupos, con asociación, con cooperativa, con organizaciones, no trabaja con grupo individual, así es de que el efecto sería de que si el cañero decide o cualquier persona decide trabajar individual, pues automáticamente trabaja solo, no tiene la posibilidad de conseguir ningún beneficio bajo Fairtrade.
The Attorney General is expected to make an official statement on the ruling in the coming days. 20-year-old Jesus Sakul was laid to rest on Tuesday. On the night of July 31st, the Orange Walk resident passed away at the Northern Regional Hospital after the cycle he was traveling on along with the passenger, Jairo Guerra, collided into a police mobile following a chase that started on the Belize Corozal Road and ended on West San Martin Street in Tral Farm. MIT officers claimed they saw Sakul and Guerra leaving an area known to sell drugs with what appeared to be a firearm in their possession. That is what ignited the chase. While the police say that the motorcyclist lost control after colliding into the left-hand side of the police mobile, family members of the deceased and an injured Guerra claim otherwise. While the details of how the entire incident unfolded is still being investigated, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams today spoke about the conclusion of Sakul's post-mortem examination.
I would want to say to the media that how we report things at times can give the public a certain perception of something that is not true. And we have had two recent incidents where the media prematurely reported on, and it created problem. When I listened to the Channel 7 news in respect to who's the young man in Orange Walk killing or death, I got the impression that Channel 7 was on the scene when the thing happened. And I also got the impression that they did a post-mortem because right away, because their news report was that the police vehicle ran over the man and the man had 2 broken ribs. How they arrived at that, I don't know.
Eyewitnesses?
Well, the eyewitnesses were not there. The mother said that she was at home when she heard the vehicle and she heard the motorcycle. She didn't say she saw what happened.
She said
right?
residents or people who were there told her.
No, nobody was there. One person was there. And that one person who was there spoke to the police but refused to give a statement. But what the person said to the police was consistent with what the police officers were reporting. And let me say that the post-mortem examination was done and it revealed that the young man was not run over by the police vehicle. That's not true. But we're still looking at it. The team of investigators have put together the file and it went to the DPP's rep in Orange Walk today for advice in terms of how we're going to proceed with the matter. So I will wait to see what the advice is going to be from the DPP Council in Orange Walk, and then we can inform you of that.
But do you agree that a post-mortem would not indicate if the police clipped the motorcycle, causing them to fall over?
I said that Channel 7 reported that the vehicle ran over the man. That is total different than to say a vehicle clipped a motorcycle, which I cannot confirm or deny at this time, if that in fact happened.
In reference to Jairo Guerra, CTV3 News understands he is recuperating at a slow pace and still needs surgery. On the other hand, the names of the MIT officers involved in the fatal accident is still unknown, and as you heard, the commissioner is still waiting on word in relation to whether or not any of the officers will be charged. 4 police officers were arraigned in August 2022 inside the Corozal Magistrates Court for the death of Derek O, the young man who perished in the back of a police prison van after being arrested at the San Joaquin Fiesta grounds on August 14th last year. O died from a heat stroke after he was forgotten inside the van. His decomposed body was discovered by a police officer over 12 hours after his arrest, marking a direct breach of protocols by several police officers who were criminally charged. With O's death nearing its 1-year mark, today the Commissioner of Police was asked whether O's family has received the financial compensation for the death of their loved one.
I don't want to say something that is not accurate. I know that we had gone into mediation and there was a sum that was thrown out. And I think we accepted that sum. And the matter should be settled, I would want to think. Because the last I spoke to my legal team, they had told me that the attorney for the estate of O, which is the Honorable Dean Barrow, had accepted the offer and the matter was on its way to be settled. So I would want to say yes, but let me confirm with my legal team and I'll give you a definitive answer.
In the wake of O's death, 4 officers, including Alric Borland, Errol Peralta, Isaiah Sanchez, and Rosario Romero, were criminally charged, months after the DPP gave directives to withdraw the charges against Sanchez and Romero. On Friday, Parliament will meet and the leader of the opposition, Shine Barrow, is expected to file for a no-confidence motion against Prime Minister of Belize, John Briceño. We'll see how that goes tomorrow, but what we can tell you is that even before the motion is tabled, PM Briceño has been receiving unwavering support for all ranks of his party, including cabinet ministers. Today, Honorable Julius Espat was asked about the no-confidence motion, and he reaffirmed the media that the entire cabinet is on the PM's side of the ring.
If we had not put out a support to our leader, you would have chastised us.
For it?
But it's the organs. So if you want to know that we are supporting our leader, the organs are important. The women's movement, the marshals, the youth movement, and the various caucuses. We are solidifying our support to our Prime Minister. And we are doing it because we are confident in the decisions that are being made. It's simple to that. We're not ashamed of that. But if he is being attacked, and we are not in agreement with the attack or the reason behind the attack, I could go back to the same words that you tried to put on us, that it's a cowardly attack. I can, but I won't. We're just showing support to our leader because our leader is not one person. Our leader is us. He's a reflection of us and we are a reflection of him. And if we can't support him, what are we here for? My humble response to that.
But if you're saying Mr. Bauer has nobody to fear, then you could have just set that side.
And you would be happy.
Me?
No.
Stake in this.
Yes, you do. You're a reporter, and that's a very important stake. You're a voter in the country of Belize. That's a very important stake. We all have a stake. But somebody accuses you and you are defending yourself, and then you are saying that that's not important? That's what you're telling me? We are defending our leader because we believe that he's doing a very good job, because he has allowed us, individual ministers and ministers of state and area representatives, to do their job. In my case, in the Ministry of Infrastructure Development, we have been working very efficiently. In the Honorable's case, in the Ministry of Education, they have been doing the same. In the Honorable's case, in the Ministry of Defense, they have been doing the same. In the Honorable's case, in the Ministry of Sports, we just won some serious medals internationally. We are doing positive things, so therefore we are in full support of the leadership of the People's United Party, and we should never, ever be ashamed of that.
Today, PM Briceño reacted to the vote of confidence he has received.
That's the irony, or probably, the leader of the opposition being a fraud. I say that because he knows that he has a lot of internal division within his party. Enough for him to try to come up with taking out a vote of no confidence. It's a joke. It's a joke. It shows that he's not taking his work seriously, that all he's doing this is just to get attention. It's all about him. It's not about the country, it's not about his party, but it is about him. And he knows that there's no chance of getting any kind close to a vote of no confidence. I mean, like I told the media on Friday, do the math. At best they have 3, and at worst sometimes it's him alone. So, and we're 26, and he's just trying to get attention. But the attention that he's getting is the wrong kind of attention, because people are looking at him as being that, you're joking, you can't be serious about your work. I would have more respect for him if he would have been out there finding ways on how he can unite his party. But constantly, again, it's just about him and not about the country or even about his party. I am very grateful to my party, to the cabinet. They said that they wanted to express support, and the parliamentary caucus, and which includes all 26 members of the House and our senators. And then even the party, the chairman, said he'd been getting calls from different arms of the party that they also want to express support. Our party is united, our party is strong, our party is delivering on Plan Belize, and that is what we need to remember.
So far, a number of organs of the People's United Party has come forward affirming their full support for Briceño. These include the United Women's Group, the Marshals Community, the Order of Distinguished Service, the Belize Youth Movement, the PUP National Executive, and the Western, Northern, and Eastern Caucus, and the People's United Party's Parliamentary Caucus. The presence of narco-traffickers here in the northern part of the country is becoming a huge concern for the men and women of our national security. The situation here in the north has become so volatile over the past months that in June, the government of Belize allocated approximately $1 million to heighten police and BDF operations in Orange Walk and Corozal districts, particularly in areas such as San Victor, San Roman, and Douglas. Those operations have led to the confiscation of 2 AK-47 rifles over the past 2 weeks. Those firearms, according to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, have been sent for analysis to see if any of them were utilized in recent shootings committed in the north, including that of Curtis Usher, which proved to be fatal, and Nimrod Tillit, who was badly injured.
We continue our northern operations with a view to avert the issues of cartels from Mexican side influencing some locals in Corozal and Orange Walk to carry out acts on their behalf. And the operations have done a lot in terms of doing house searches, targeting those persons who need to be targeted, conducting patrols within the affected areas. And yes, we have been able to retrieve or remove from the streets 2 AK-47s, those are the 7.62 type rifles, as well as 1 grenade. One of the rifles were recovered from an area in the Corozal district about 2 weeks ago. And we believe that that was the weapon used in the shooting of the guy Tillit. And so we have sent that rifle along with all the expended shells from the different scenes where 7.62 was used to the lab to ascertain if that is a weapon that had been used in those incidents.
Coming up next, we take you to San Esteban, where major works take place. Stay tuned.
¿Qué tal mi gente de Somos amigos de Red Latina y los invitamos este próximo 2 de septiembre
al 19º aniversario
de nuestra radio Fiesta FM 106.7 en el escenario de Hypersol. Somos amigos Red Latina. Red Latina, mami.
Calling all business owners in Belize. The second Belize Investment Summit 2023 is on its way. On August 30th to September 1st, 2023, join us at the Grand Caribe Belize in San Pedro for 3 days of networking, presentations, and high-level discussions with key local and international decision makers. Do you have a business plan or are trying to expand your business reach and you just need the right investor to make it happen? Then you need to attend the Belize Investment Summit 2023. Don't miss out on this chance to take your business to the next level. Register for the Belize Investment Summit today at www.investmentsummit.bz.
Do you want quick cash for your gold? Then take advantage of Monica's Pawn Shop's big loans on gold and our guaranteed low rate of only 10% on all pawn jewelry. But it doesn't stop there. We also pawn TVs, buy scrap gold, and pawn vehicles that you can still drive. Visit Monica's Pawn Shop today in our Belize City location at number 128 Cemetery Road, our Belmopan location at number 5 Garden Plaza, our Orange Walk location, number 2 Belize Corozal Road. Give us a call at 207-0970 and get more money for your gold jewelry.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real. Something that they could see and touch.
Animals and dinosaurs can't coexist. We created an ecological disaster.
Ellie Sattler.
Alan Grant.
You didn't come out all this way just to catch up now, did you?
You coming or what?
That's another plane, right?
Not exactly.
Don't move.
After more than a decade of clamoring for the upgrade of the San Esteban Road, residents of San Esteban and Progreso and other surrounding villages will be elated to know that works have officially begun on the road leading from Orange Walk down to San Esteban. The project is being carried out through a collaboration between the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Prime Minister John Briceño. This project, according to Honorable Briceño, who also represents the area, should have been completed many years ago.
There's a sad history to this and no happy ending. The sad part of it is that under the PUP government, under the European Union sugar adaptation strategy, we set the funds aside to be able to pave this road all the way to Progreso, and it was free money. I think it was about $9 million. For one reason or another, the UDP decided to be vindictive and wanted to take away the contract from the company. I think it was Lopez and Berbe. They took it away. They went to court. The court said that they need to negotiate a settlement because there was a contract. I am told that the government, the UDP government, paid about $11 million. So in effect, the country, the people of this country lost $20 million, and we got nothing in return because the road was never paved. During my campaigns and when I visit people here in San Esteban, I've seen the bad state of the road. The UDP government never did maintain that road, and maybe they said, well, San Esteban voted PUP, that's why they were not going to do it. I promised that I was going to do everything possible to try to get it paved in this first term in our government, and we managed to find the funding and set aside the monies to be able to do that, and as we can see, the work has started, and I hope that by the middle of next year, I think we should finish paving the entire road of San Esteban all the way to Orange Walk.
The complete upgrade of the Orange Walk San Esteban Road is expected to be finalized in the upcoming fiscal year. As works are in full swing on the Orange Walk San Esteban Road, the PM Briceño and the Ministry of Infrastructure are also engaged in other major works within the community of San Esteban. As the village of San Esteban continues to expand, Prime Minister Briceño says the need for new roads has become urgent, and so residents in certain areas will soon enjoy better access to their properties as works continue in full swing.
For 13 years, the UDP government did nothing for San Esteban. And we had these roads, these streets, here by the school, more going towards the east. And that whole area, we had many people already living in that area, different areas in the village, and no streets are there for them. So what we've been doing, again, working with the Ministry of Infrastructure Development, opening up these streets and fixing up to a standard where it will be easy for people to be able to either walk or drive home. And again, that's a part of the work and the mandate that the people of San Esteban gave to me to be able to provide these services for them.
Major roads within the community are also being retrofitted with new culverts as the area rep works to upgrade the drainage system in the village.
There are certain areas of San Esteban, especially by the river, that is prone to flooding. Again, lack of drainage, lack of culverts, or in some instances, the culverts that were put in place were small and put in there probably 40 years or so ago. So what we're doing in the main areas, we're putting culverts that are big enough so that the water can flow out and we can relieve the flooding that many people have been suffering over the years. I am so excited and I feel so proud about the work that we're doing for San Esteban and by extension for the people of Orange Walk Central.
The upgrading of the main streets of San Esteban Village was also completed earlier this year through a collaboration between the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Infrastructure Development. The cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Honorable John Briceño met on the 8th of August 2023 and considered and approved the joint plan from the Attorney General's Ministry and the Ministry of E-Governance for a program to strengthen the civil registry. This will achieve a more efficient civil registry program, modernizing and improving all services of the Vital Statistics Unit through the establishment of a pertinent legal policy framework, simplified procedures, and an inclusive and accessible online service. Cabinet also discussed the issue of the growing number of Belizeans who are suffering from mental health and wellness issues, as well as substance abuse and drug addiction. Cabinet called on the ministers responsible for health and wellness, human development, and home affairs to oversee an intensive study to provide more rehabilitation services. In the financial aspect, Cabinet gave its approval for the tabling of a National Assembly loan and guarantee motion to enable the Development Finance Corporation to enter into a loan agreement with the Caribbean Development Bank. The $12.5 million loan will be guaranteed by the government for a line of credit at the fixed concessionary rate of 0.75% per annum. This loan will facilitate the financing of sub-loans to micro, small, and medium enterprises for agricultural and industrial credit. Also, with a view to addressing the rapidly growing energy demands of Belize's flourishing economy, Cabinet supported the tabling of a National Assembly loan motion in support of a $77 million loan from the Saudi Fund for Development at the fixed concessionary rate of 2% per annum to finance the construction of a 60 megawatt utility-scale solar energy plant. Tonight, there is word coming out of the government's Assets and Utilities Management Unit through a letter penned by Ashton Longsworth that reports reaching the unit that Belizean drivers of government vehicles are finding ways to enter the carousel-free zone. Reports say drivers of the blue license plate vehicles know they have no access to enter the free zone, so they take off the blue license plate to be able to pass through the zone's main gate. Now, it is common knowledge that Belizeans are barred from entering the carousel-free zone unless you are an employee. This practice has now forced Longsworth to send out a third memo, which has been relayed to the Free Zone Management, Customs, and Immigration Department. It reminds the relevant authorities that the border authorization issued by Government's Assets and Utilities Management Unit does not grant permission for government-owned vehicles to enter the free zone. These vehicles can only have permission after proper permissions from the Ministry of Finance, and his unit has been obtained. Today, Prime Minister John Briceño spoke on the matter.
It is more than that, and I think it's not just honing on that, but it is the use of government vehicles. Over the decades, it is not something new. Many of our public officers sometimes abuse the use of these government assets, these vehicles, and then they use it for their personal use. When you get this, when you're entrusted with the responsibility of a vehicle, you need to, one, remember that it is for your work. Two, that you need to protect it and take care of it so that it can make you more effective in your work. And three, that this belongs to the people, and as such, all of us have a responsibility in protecting it.
Today, the Prime Minister applauded Longworth's actions.
I will take the opportunity to congratulate Ashton Longsworth as the manager of that unit. I think he has done fantastic work. For instance, he found more than 90 vehicles that were abandoned, and he fixed them. And now these 90 vehicles are now working. That in itself has saved the government of Belize over $3 million. He's ensuring that vehicles that when we pay for insurance, that these vehicles are still running. There are many instances the insurance company, and you can't blame them, they have a list, and so they just send out the insurance policy, and nobody, the people previously in charge of the vehicles management and assets management unit, at no time took the time out to make sure that, okay, you're paying insurance for this vehicle. Let me go and make sure, and so that vehicle is still running. And that's exactly what he's doing now. He's ensuring that they go and make sure that these vehicles are working. He's ensuring that when we rent some office space and when we move out, that the water is cut out, that the electricity is cut out. Many instances we do that and we don't inform BL, and so BL continues to send the bill and those bills are paid, and some instances the owners of the building never inform us. So he has been saving the government a lot of money. He has put in new life into that unit. He has been reorganizing it. And so I take the opportunity to congratulate him and tell him to keep up the great work.
Saying, quote, if caught in this act or without proper authorization, the government-owned vehicle will be impounded. We call on all heads of departments to ensure that proper authorization is obtained before proceeding beyond the immigration barrier of all border points, unquote. This morning marked day 4 of a one-week football and karate summer program for over 100 children from the community of San Esteban. As the camp slowly comes to a close, the participants today received a special visit from Prime Minister John Briceño, who is the main sponsor of the summer camp. Our news team was at hand this morning to capture a few of the highlights of today's activities.
Over 100 children from the community of San Esteban in the Orange Walk Central constituency braved the summer sun this morning for a fun and very entertaining workout session with Prime Minister of Belize, Honorable John Briceño, who is also the area representative for Orange Walk Central. Today's activity marked day 4 of a one-week football and karate summer camp sponsored by the Orange Walk Central Executive and the Honorable Briceño. The Orange Walk Central Summer Sports Camp has been ongoing for over 20 years under the leadership of PM Briceño, who says he looks forward to the annual tradition of working out with the children of his constituency every year and hopes the tradition is upheld by those who come after him.
Being with the children, you get so much satisfaction being with them. And unfortunately, I could not be with the Orange Walk Town kids because I was out, I think it was in Korea. But now we're doing here in San Esteban, so I decided, well, I have to come here at least to look at what they're doing and participate to them. It's great fun. It's a Orange Walk Central tradition. We've been doing this for more than 25 years, every single year, and we look forward to doing some more, and even when I retire, I hope that the next representative will continue this tradition.
How is the workout now every year? 25 years doing it and now, doing it with the kids.
It's becoming a little bit more challenging, but thankfully I can keep up. I am so happy that then the guy heading the workout blew the whistle because I'm going to get tired. But I noticed that the mayor of Orange Walk couldn't keep up with me. And he's a lot younger than I am, so I feel pretty good. It's fun. It's fun being around with these kids.
In over 20 years of hosting the summer camp, this year, PM Briceño says the support from the business community was overwhelming, which shows their commitment to children of our country.
I want to definitely give my thanks to BWSL and Smart and to all the other small businesses that are participating. This is very important by the private sector participating. For many years I've been doing this basically on my own, but now that I can get help, we can do a lot more for the kids. This is for the kids, not about me. And so I want to thank them and encourage other businesses to participate, to be more community conscious And to be able to anything when it comes especially to sports and education, I think we should all do everything possible to assist our kids, our young children who are the future of this country.
This morning, PM Briceño received donations from the Belize Water Services and SMART towards the summer camps. Reporting for CTV3 News, Norma Ruiz.
The summer camp comes to an official close on Friday with the distribution of certificates to all participants. Have you ever wondered why anyone can run for political office in Belize? Maybe your answer is whoever can garner support and is popular, and that is quite close to the answer. Unfortunately, that has shadowed the country, and the Briceño administration wants to make it right. It made an intent on Friday, July 2nd, 2021, when the 11th Amendment to the Belize Constitution was introduced in the House of Representatives by Minister Henry Charles Usher. The legislation, if approved, would establish grounds for the disqualification of persons who may want to become a member of the National Assembly. More importantly, the piece of legislation encompasses clauses that would disallow persons who have been convicted of a crime and has served time in prison from becoming a sitting member of the House of Representatives. Now, this is not convenient for the leader of the opposition since he has served time in U.S. prison, 10 years to be exact, for his involvement in a shooting incident in New York. Today, in a sense of urgency, a meeting was called by the Constitution and Foreign Affairs Committee to discuss the document, which is expected to be debated in the House tomorrow. After the session, opposition leader Shine Barrow weighed in on the bill.
This amendment only addresses one thing, and that is the leader of the opposition. I am the only member of parliament that, when I was 19 years old, was sentenced to a prison term. But interestingly enough, this highlights why our Constitution is the way it is, where it says in the Commonwealth, because the laws are different in Belize than they are in the United States. In the United States, my crime of reckless assault is punishable by a fine. You'd pay a few $1,000s, and that would be it. So it wouldn't be a sentence that I got there. Some people could argue that because the American justice system at times targets minorities and African Americans in particular, that was an excessive sentence. But in our jurisdiction, the crime of reckless assault, if you look it up, is punishable by a fine. And that is why the Constitution explicitly says in the Commonwealth. Furthermore, someone can get a 1-year sentence for their sexual orientation in other jurisdictions. Someone can get a 1-year sentence for their religious belief in other jurisdictions. Someone can get a 1-year sentence for their political beliefs, i.e. Philip Goldson, Leigh Richardson, and George Price.
As you heard, Barrow is condemning the bill, which once introduced into law can immediately end his political career. He says the legislation is outrageous and an act of war against marginalized people seeking office.
There is a reason that the drafters of our Constitution restricted the consideration to the Commonwealth. And it is not for this government or any government to unilaterally make that decision, and that is why they created a People's Constitution Commission that has all of the stakeholders in a bipartisan fashion. So if they would recommend that, then there's not much I could say. I could still challenge it in courts if I feel aggrieved, but it would have more credibility than what it has now, which is zero credibility. It is an attack on the leader of the opposition. It is an endorsement of my leadership, because if the opposition was so weak and I was such a waste of time, then the government would want me to stay there. This is a move to try to overthrow me. They can't beat me at the ballot, so they're weaponizing the Constitution of our nation, and it's difficult to see it any other way, because our Constitution dealt with anyone who was imprisoned for more than a year, like currently in a sentence, because then that would prevent you from being able to discharge your duties in the House and in your constituency.
And while Barrow is on the edge of his seat tonight, Honorable Julius Espat, the chairman of the Constitution and Foreign Affairs Committee, says Barrow has it all wrong.
Mr. Barrow feels as though the PUP would rather weaponize the Constitution rather than face off with him in the ballots.
Mr. Barrow is nobody to be able to be fair. To me, he's a performer. I've said that in the House, outside the House. So you're asking the wrong person.
At the end, Espat says the people of Belize will have the final say as to whether the 11th Amendment bill becomes into law or not.
This is the only constitutional amendment that was tabled in the House already before the commission was even conceived. It is the responsibility of the committee, and we were informed by the House that we have to report back to the House. And so we just called the committee as per the standing orders and as per the regulations, and it will be taken back to the House to be ventilated. It's not that it's being approved. Tomorrow there will be a debate, and the Honorable will have an opportunity to express his side. And then after that, it goes to third reading. And then it will go to the Senate for additional ventilation and debates. And then it will be decided what will happen with it. It's the normal process that our democracy allows us to do.
The timing, though, seems a bit rushed because the email went out yesterday evening, I believe, minutes to 7.
Well, I'm not a member of the administration of the National Assembly, so we are just a part of the system, and we were called as the chairperson, and they asked me that it was important that the meeting be held, and I therefore called the meeting.
Isn't this amendment, though, an attack on, well, it seems like an attack on the leader of the opposition?
Well, assumptions can be made. The debate is there. The people will decide. It will be out there for everybody to discuss. That's what democracy is. We're not hiding it from anybody. We are not signing anything behind closed doors. It is for the people of Belize to decide what caliber of leader do they want to lead the country. It's not our decision to make.
But the amendment itself from the very beginning seems like a fetter on democracy, because even after Shine did his time, the people still voted for him.
Garrison constituencies are not based on legitimate votes. Analyze that. You're dealing with a constituency of 800 people that have been manipulated for years. That's not democracy. Yeah, that's my point of view.
The same could be said for many other constituencies
Fine.
that voted for people.
Fine, that's why we're going through a redistricting, so hopefully solve that problem. We here are representatives of thousands of people, so it is unfair on us to be able to deal with a situation when you have 1 or 2 seats that you get elected by 800 votes. No, I think you get elected by 800 people that vote, and of that maybe you get 200 and win an election. That has to be dealt with also, and it will.
Still, Shine says he has the support from the social partners.
When it was originally brought to the House Committee, there was great outrage, a public outrage, and I was reminded of that in my conversations with all of the members of the social partner, civil society, senators, the church, the union, the chamber, business community, and the NGO, all reminded me of their position when this was first tabled, and that position has not changed. And the cry was that I believe they wrote a letter to the Prime Minister asking him to cease and desist from a piecemeal approach to amending the Constitution, and that there should be a holistic approach. And that is when the government, the PUP government, responded by creating the People's Constitution Commission. And that is why that legislation that was reviewed in the House Committee in 2021, there was no further discussion on the matter.
As mentioned, the bill will be debated tomorrow. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, August 11th, here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.